Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Another Eternal 7 stream. A second here while I get up and running. And we're up to episode 59. Pretty crazy. On one hand, when I started this, I didn't think I would get to episode 59. On the other hand, we've actually made it to the originally intended goal to create a very low-level Dragon Communion build. Now we still got some more stuff to do. I've decided to keep it going. We're gonna take this and roll it into New Game Plus. We've been playing the game at rune level 7 with no upgrades. We're gonna stick to that until we actually make the build. Once the build is complete, we're gonna actually try different level brackets, or who knows, we might actually try different level brackets even before we complete the build. But it's been very interesting. It's been a challenge getting through the game, but also there's kind of like a purpose to it, because I think a lot of times when you embark on things like this, on low-level challenges, you're not necessarily trying to make a complete build. And in our case, we are making a complete build. But we have reached the point in the game at which we are going to get stuck because I don't know how to beat Malekith at low level. I've been thinking I need to check some of these other characters that I have. Some of them are already in New Game Plus. Some of them are in New Game. This character might be in New Game Plus 2 or 3. I don't even know. He's not. He's just wearing the dragon form right now. He's not really intended to be a dragon, but he has a lot of arcane. So, this character is already essentially beaten the game. I think I'm through Malekith on him. I'd have to go into New Game Plus for him. But I have been making this build, and it has been surprisingly strong, actually. Anyways, let's get rolling here. So I was on for a little bit earlier today. I spent some time just discussing the Lamenter, the dragon, and the dragon priestess forms after getting some questions about them online. It's been really strange because it seems like quite a few people don't even understand what these things are or that they exist. Some people look at it and they think this is a mod. And no, it's not actually a mod. This is a completely base game. I do play on PC. And we probably will install some mods once we complete this build. In particular, I want to get like the merchant mod because I want to get my hands on a frenzy seal. Actually, probably a couple frenzy seals. And I can't get those at upgrade level 0. You can only get them at upgrade level 8, which is what you get. You get Edgar's Banished Knight Helper at +8 when you're trying to do the frenzy quest, hiatus quest. We'll probably get a mod, but this build is completely honest. All the items that we have on here are stuff that we procured by playing through the game and farming ourselves. Nothing has been cheated in, and this build is stupidly overpowered. But then again, Dragon Communion builds are stupidly overpowered at pretty much every bracket in this game. It's just really not any different at low level. I actually didn't think that it would be so effective at low level. I don't know why I thought that. That was pretty stupid now that I'm here and doing it. But yeah, I mean, we've been also doing, you know, like I said on the previous stream, I was taking some time to discuss the Lamenter versus Dragon form because I think they are competing forms. The Dragon is a glass cannon. This thing is more glass and low to mid levels, potentially more cannon, depending on how you use it. Also, again, like I keep saying this doesn't seem to be very, I haven't seen anybody point this out yet. But in our research, we found out that the Lamenter form reduces your focus by 50 points, which is a big deal. It makes you more susceptible to frenzy and sleep. It also kind of prevents this build from being useful for frenzy incantations, which the frenzy incantations are really interesting to me because there's a little bit of an issue there. So basically, the frenzy seal, the one that you get from Hyena, is scales off of strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith. Mostly with faith. But then all of those stats have like really weird soft caps. But because there's 4 of them that it scales from, it ends up being stupidly powerful at high levels. And it provides a 20% boost to the frenzy incantations, which is a massive bonus. You know, like the frenzy incantations are very good. All of them are very unique and they could be very powerful in PvP. Now there is an interesting interaction though, because if you use the Dragon Communion build on a build that has very high arcane, to cast the frenzy incantations, the madness status buildup of those frenzy incantations is better because of the way that scaling works on the Dragon Communion seal and the interaction with the arcane. This only affects the spells. The one other notable exception is the fingerprint shield, which can induce frenzy. If you occult or blood infuse that thing, then the frenzy status buildup will scale with your arcane as well. So naturally, this form provides 8 arcane, so you would think might actually be good for this purpose. Use it to cast Dragon Communion or frenzy incantations. But no, because of the focus bound. You take a 50-point focus hit. So at low level, we can't even cast at this level I mean, unless we put on the talisman. But we can't even cast a single Frenzy Flame incantation without madnessing ourselves. So, a little bit counterproductive. So I just hopped on and trying to get an invasion here or something to get rolling on the stream. Hopefully we'll get something quick. I had a few invasions earlier, it was during the day. And then it got stuck, it dried up. Yeah, this thing is very powerful. We have 87 rune arcs. You know, this is the nice thing. You know, we kind of invade with a purpose here because we really need the rune arcs to get through the game. So when you invade and earn rune arcs at this level, they're actually useful. They're kind of a little bit important. You don't want to just, you know, kill yourself and lose the rune arcs. Which has also kind of made it nice in terms of like the playthrough. That's what I mean. Like I've really kind of enjoyed this interaction of playing through the game. It's a challenge, but also PvPing to help alleviate some of the challenges that the game throws at you. And I also said this on the previous stream, but I'm pretty bad at this game. I'm not like a gamer, though I do know a lot about the game. I have experience with Invasion since Dark Souls 3, since before, long before Elden Ring came on. And I think, you know, I do decently at Invasions. I probably win about half of my Invasions, maybe more. I don't really keep count. But the reason I win isn't because I'm a good player. And Elden Ring is not a skill game. You know, if you want more balanced or skill-based invasions, you know, go to Dark Souls 3. Elden Ring is more about luck and about strategies and using your advantages. I love sneak invasions in this game. And just by sneaking and being able to quickly burst, you know, a couple phantoms down, drastically improves your chances of winning invasions, believe it or not. So I'm gonna probably put together some sort of instructional information on what to do for invasions. At least, you know, things that I think are good things to do. Powerful items, powerful talismans, and strategies. You know, but I think one of the most important strategies for invasions is, you know, not rushing in. Take your time, you know, with invasions. And this has been a thing since, well, since like it's been a thing for me since Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 3 handled sneaking in a different way, probably more powerful than it is in this game. Because they had a talisman over there that basically, if you put it on, you became invisible, unless they came really close to you. And in this game, you know, you have the crouch mechanic and the concealing veil. So you have this thing right here. So if you crouch down and you're sufficiently far away from them, you're going to disappear. They're not going to be able to see you. But I actually like using the trick mirror instead, which doesn't depend on crouching down. This game just does offer you a lot of camouflage, a lot of options to hide behind obstacles and conceal your approach, even if you're not invisible. So I think that's kind of one of the most important strategies that I would recommend people to try. Not just because it's strong and because it allows you to get a gauge for what people are doing before you engage with them, but because it's fun. It's actually really fun to like sneak around and they don't know where you are. A lot of times when you invade, you know, the host will back up. They're going to disengage from the PvE because they don't want to fight the PvE and an invader at the same time. Well, while they're doing that and looking around for you, well, you take the time and observe them. See what they're up to. See what weapons they have out. See what their teammates are doing. Try to realize, hey, especially if you're invading at low or mid-level, you know, are you dealing with an over-leveled phantom? Because a lot of times it's pretty obvious. A lot of these people are either very high level or they just cheated stuff in. Because especially at low level, it's pretty rare to encounter decent players. So yeah, it's a huge strategical advantage. And even after you're done with the initial, you know, sneaking part, or maybe they found you, don't just rush in. Don't let them, you know, try to gank you or get you stuck in a small area, because that's just a really good way to die quickly. So like simple things like that, you know, you think everybody would understand it and try to apply a basic rule like that, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people just rush right in, swing weapons, and hope for the best. And that's usually just not going to win. Use your status effects, like poison. Poison is immensely powerful in this game. They also have rot. I'm not a fan of rot as a status effect for PvP because not because I think it's bad. It's you know, bad in terms of how it's implemented. Because the boluses are very hard to farm, and they didn't give us a shop where you can buy those early in the game. So I despise rot at low levels. Now here I am saying this when I use the rotten bread on PvEers at rune level 7. But I'm not happy about that. If this bread didn't have rot, I would be happier and I would be using it. It just so happens that this is the only physical dragon breath that does physical damage. All the other ones do elemental damage. So they don't get buffed by the blue dancer charm. So, but poison is very powerful and it's much easier to apply than rot in most circumstances. The venomous fang, like this thing right here, look at this, poison venomous fang. This does more tick damage than rot does in PvP. This specific one. Not only that, it lasts, I think, a full, 180 seconds or something like that, while doing more damage than rot. That will absolutely kill players very quickly if they're not paying attention. They use status effects. Again, like I don't like. I'm not a fan of frenzy or sleep, but they exist and they will be used against you. If you have those tools at your disposal and you're going against shedders, by all means take them out. Or you're going up against over-leveled phantoms that are using other, overpowered gear and equipment. Hey, all bets are off. Use what you have at your disposal. But those are things that kind of make the game fun, because you could approach the invasions with a mindset of, hey, we're just going to try to have fun, and that's the best thing to do. Try not to be a dick. But a lot of times, the people that you meet online, they deserve it. Base something. If they are down there, how do I even get down there? I don't know if they saw us. Kind of in a spot where we're a little bit exposed. I don't know if they saw us, but and see, this is what I'm talking about. We invaded. They were actually coming up this way. And I think this is why we got spawned right there. But as soon as they saw the message that somebody invaded their world, well, they kind of dropped everything that they were doing and went back to their safe area over there. I don't know if they saw us, but I'm gonna teleport and maybe I'll end up above and ahead of them. Oh, well, I'm gonna end up right there. Okay. And see, like these are PvEers. They don't look over level. And that guy's naked, so he's gonna get poisoned real quick. Hey, bud. Why don't you come over here?
Hey!
And let's see if he survives and makes it out of here. Oh, come on, dude. Well, there you go. I wonder, you know, like these Twitch accounts, they keep talking about viewers. It is just robots. Like they see a channel that doesn't have any audience, and they immediately start harassing them. I just blocked them. First time chat. So, but you can see, especially at low level, but I mean, you should not discount poison at all levels. Poison, I think, is good at all levels, especially if you use it to buff yourself, because of how easy it is to apply. So I think it's one of those status effects that is very well done, easy to heal. There's a lot of different ways to heal it. And very fun. So use it. You absolutely should use it. And there are many different ways of using it. Because you could use it with poison-infused weapons. You can use it with the unique weapons like the Venomous Fang or the Katana or the Whip. You could use the greases on fast weapons or on the Ripple Halberd or the Ripple Blade. So there's a lot of different ways you can apply poison in this game. And I think it's very powerful. A lot of people just don't heal it, either because they don't have the heals easily accessible, or because, well, they just don't feel like it. They don't think it's doing very much damage. But it puts a lot of pressure. And it is doing damage. If you don't heal it, it will do 600 damage. At a minimum. Like that's just what it does. So don't take it for granted. But like other status effects like bleed, very powerful. Frost is very, very unique. So Frost is a kind of like I feel like Frost existed in Dark Souls 3, but I don't think it was. I think there was very few ways to apply it. And like for example, I think there was a drawstring grease for Frost, and it didn't work very well. There were only just a handful of weapons that applied the cold status natively. You didn't have like a cold infusion in Dark Souls 3, from what I remember. Could be wrong. It's been a while since I played. But I think Elden Ring implemented it very well. You know, that is a very cool status that's implemented very well. And then there are the bullshit statuses like like rot, not because that status is implemented badly, but because there's no reliable ways to heal it. And players have to specifically plan for it. Like, I don't like using the consumables, so I put Flame Cleanse Me on almost all my invader builds. Because you're gonna get rot at some point. And you have to be able to heal it, or you might end up invading in the Lake of Rot. So you have to have a method of dealing with that. And if you don't, you're just gonna die. So rot, you know, I think if they gave us boluses to heal it, especially if they gave it to us early in the game, the issue would go away. But that's not what we have. So you either gotta dupe or farm items that are very exceedingly difficult to farm. But then there's madness, and madness is horrible stats. Okay, as an idea, it's a very cool one. Like, I can understand from the lore perspective. But the fact that you get shadow procs from madness build up on hits that you dodge, and the fact that, you know, you can't roll it, like you can't bleed, for example, just makes it very broken. Sleep is very similar. Cool idea, especially for PvE, but once you take that status into PvP, I think things break down in a bad way. And speaking of sleep, we can go and farm some sleep pots. But again, like, it'll work really well on this character because our arcane is pretty high. At low level, people don't have resistances, so sleep into a dragon spell, even if it's just like the dragon breath, is absolutely filthy. But I don't want to do that against the regular people. I want to do that against people who earn it. Or at the very least, go to meta and do it there. You know, then all bets are off, you know, once you're at meta. But I still think it's kind of bullshitty. You know, we did have a host, it wasn't on stream, but a couple weeks ago I was playing on my other low-level character, the level 8 hero. And, you know, we invaded them, and they were Runark, but they seemed pretty chill. We were having a pretty good fight, I thought. But at some point when that host wasn't winning, and they went through a few of their heals, then they took out the gear. And eventually they used the spread crossbow on me and perfume in my face to kill me. That was pretty cool. I mean, just a really great mechanic. Like unreactable spread crossbow right in the face. And then a perfume that just basically one-shots you at close range. I mean, it's what Miyazaki intended when he made this game. So. Okay, so this is kind of interesting here. Ooh, that hit me from there? Okay, Rose. Actually, that was a good and fair fight. What do you got? Is that a redo here? Yep, it is. So here we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. I'm gonna need to put on this thing. Because he's gonna bleed me out real easily. Ooh, the connection is not good here. Let's heal the bleed. I need to parry that. That was a very good fight, man. So, again, I'm pretty bad at this game, but I have gotten good enough to be able to swap talismans in the middle of a fight now, which I'm really proud of. You know, I'm not going to be like doing like hard swaps, you know, hard swap parries or anything like that anytime soon, I don't think. But strategically, you know, again, like look at what you're going up against. If you're going up against bleed, put on the anti-bleed talisman. It makes a huge difference. Like this thing, the clarifying thorn charm, it makes a huge difference against Sleep and Madness. Like you would not believe how much resistance this thing adds to your character. It makes you much less susceptible to that status. So don't hesitate to do that. But again, that in order for you to do that, you have to recognize what you're going up against and take the actions, you know, be able to react quickly. So a lot of times, you know, being stealthy at the beginning of an invasion can kind of tell you, it's like, hey, these guys look like they're using, you know, madness. Just because you see some over-leveled phantom over there with the bike spear. So just be prepared, like be ready for that. And like the other thing you need to keep in mind too is, especially when you're invading at low level, because I'm level 7 right now. But I don't even know if I can invade somebody that's level 6. I think I can invade level 7 all the way up to level 28. So the invasions skew in a way that you're going to be lower level than the host, you know, most of the time. So be prepared for that. Host will typically have a level advantage. Not at this low level, but they'll typically have a healing advantage. They might be rune arced. Heck, they might even have like, if they're using Godric's rune, which is the most common one at low levels, they basically have like 43 levels on top of you just because of the rune arc. Never mind anything else that you might be wearing or they might be wearing. You know, as invaders, we like to, you know, make our builds as strong as possible, but this build I'm invading with right now, if those guys get a 2-shot me, I have 522 HP with a rune arc right now. I think when I invade, I have something like 430 HP. So this build is very, very squishy. But it's very fun. It is a lot of fun to play this build. I could have went in there and just nuked those guys with rotten breath, but they didn't really deserve that. I didn't have a chance to sneak up on them and be like, surprise, motherfuckers. We need to start thinking about what I want to do in this episode. Might want to work through the rest of Farum Azula. There's a lot of things we need to do. We need to go down here and kill that worm face with all the guys where the death light is. We need to get the Shard of Alexander as well. There's also a few dungeons we need to clear out. But you know, my thinking is let's see if we can get another invasion real quick. Maybe we go and jump to Farum Azula. Oh man, I'm already tired. I went to bed very late last night. That stream last night was super late. I don't know how my buddy from Spain was doing it. I was up at that point. And yesterday, when I was streaming, we were over 100 rune arcs at some point. And then we burned through a bunch of them when we were fighting Vike. We did get his armor though. I think it should still be on the character. I can't put it on here, but let's check. Yeah, there it is. Eight, 24, what, 32, 37, 41, 51 boys. That's not enough. I think it actually has a pretty decent poise to weight ratio. But in this game, it seems like there's a couple breakpoints for poise that you just need to be aware of. The first one is, I think, like 31 or 32 poise, which you need to not get staggered by fan daggers, I believe. At least not on the first try, unless you get headshot. That one's kind of important. You really want your characters to have at least that, whatever armor you're going to wear. Now, when you invaded the Dragon or Lamenter, well, we have no poise. Poise is 0. So, so much for that. But you do have light roll. So I think if you have light roll, it kind of offsets the fact that you have no poise. But you still need to be aware of things like daggers or fan daggers in general, like dagger weapons being used against you. If somebody comes in with a dagger, they can fuck you up because you stagger from everything. Then the next poise breakpoint up that you really want to meet is 88. So if you have 88 poise or above, the back swings of a lot of weapons, like the second swing in their move chain, you can tank those. You can poise through them, and it's a pretty big deal. And I would say that's probably one of the most mandatory things that you want to hit, especially if you're new at invading. You know, make a character that's like level 100, and get yourself to 88 poise. Preferably with the Bulgul Talisman. The Bulgul Talisman has a really interesting interaction because not only does it amplify your poise, I believe it also amplifies the poise of some ashes or some other actions that you take, such that their poise health becomes larger by whatever it is, like 30% or 25%, however much it increases it. I think 33%. So the Bulgul Talisman is also, I think, one of the more powerful talismans for PvP in this game. It's just my personal impression because, you know, I've quite a few builds, but the build on which I used the Bulgul Talisman, definitely you could feel they just handle better, you know, in the fray. Put on armor, like wear armor, like don't be like this. Do not be a naked guy. Like this at least gives me like 5% defense across the board. But being naked is silly. You know, and I understand that maybe you just don't like the fashion in this game, but if you're going to be doing PvP, well, figure out what fashion you dislike, you know, the least. And wear that. And try to get yourself to at least 88 poise and have the Bulgul Talisman. Like, I think right now, like, you know, before our only chance for max poise was Bulgul armor. And I wasn't a fan of it. I mean, I love the greaves, I love the gauntlets. I actually kind of like the helmet with the big penis on top. But I hate the armor piece. It's funny. It's funny, and I do think it kind of looks cool in certain situations, like if you use like fists, for example, or if you're a mage. Like I think a mage with Bulgul armor is just hilarious, especially if you can pull that off at like mid levels or something like that. But now we have the verdigris armor, and the verdigris armor is very good, or the Solitude set. Solitude set is a very, very good armor set that gives you the needed poise. Okay, game is definitely struggling. I'm kind of tempted to just bail out on this. We must be trying to invade somebody that we have blocked. And as far as like blocking people, I know the community is very small. Maybe at some point I'll go through and unblock people, but I kind of have like my own conduct that I abide by. If I play an invasion and I decide that I'm not having fun because of what this individual is doing, I'm just gonna block them. They might not even have done something all that bad. Like, for example, I'll block people for just retreating and sitting at the graves with their phantoms. Like, come on, like, you're gonna just sit there and not play the game and wait me out so you can get me in a low spot. I'm not interested. Like, I won't leave. I might just hang out there and just harass them for hours. I got time to burn. But regardless of whether I win or lose, I'm probably gonna block these people because I don't want to deal with that again. If somebody's cheating or if somebody's being like just particularly crappy, fuck them. I don't need to play with them. There's gonna be other schmucks that we can invade at some point. I'm sure Miyazaki will do his best. Oh man, maybe I should cut this short and just go to bed. So after this stream, I'm gonna be gone for a few days. I'm gonna go up in the mountains and see if we can do some skiing. We are expecting some snow to come through. It should actually be snowing in the mountains right now. So tomorrow and the day after, we should be getting snow. Actually, no, tomorrow and the day after we should be getting snow. After that, it's supposed to be sunshine. By Sunday, I think we're just gonna head back. So maybe I'll do a stream Sunday night after we get back. This is kind of interesting because we keep getting that. This is not the typical, you're trying to invade somebody that's blocked. The way this is playing out is almost as if, as we're invading, the invasion is dropping out. Maybe they died or something. Anyways. Yeah, so I think I've gotten to a point right now where I'm starting to figure out this streaming thing. You know, I attempted to stream a few years ago, mostly on Twitch, doing art, and it did not go well. You know, I played games from time to time. I think it was maybe at the beginning of the Elden Ring era, or maybe it was Dark Souls, like before Elden Ring. But I kind of really just gave up on it. Subconsciously, I think I was kind of dissatisfied with the fact that, you know, nothing broke out. I wasn't getting any audience, and, you know, here I am, you know, talking to myself a few years later. But I've kind of been enjoying this little burst right now, and I approached it with a different perspective. I just wanted to learn about how to do it, the technology and so forth. And I think right now, also I kind of like the way that YouTube handles it better. Might be easier to get monetized and whatnot on Twitch, but I think the long-term aspect of keeping your stuff on YouTube is probably better. And I'm gonna do more of these. Now that I've actually done this and we got these characters so far into the game, I'm kind of interested to see what we can do with other classes. Like, for example, we might do a wretch playthrough, just level 1 with no upgrades, or, you know, since we're gonna be PvPing and the purpose is PvP, maybe we'll all upgrade it. Maybe we will go and take the wretch to +1 somber. Because that won't prevent it from invading other wretches with no upgrades. The other part, the other class I'm really interested in doing is the astrologer. My problem with the astrologer is I kind of already have a low-level astrologer that's like level 23. And I feel like I'm betraying her by starting a base astrologer. It's a female character. So maybe, I don't know. I do feel like starting one from scratch and just seeing what the base class can do, because before I did this playthrough, and as I played through the game, I realized, well, hold on, I actually can use this weapon, or hold on, I can use this thing. It became very abundantly clear that this prophet class is very, very, very good, especially for PvP purposes. Like, I knew the prophet was well, balanced, but I didn't know how good it was. Like, the fact that you can do Vikes War Spear at level 7 is just absolutely insane. And you have so many options on the loadout above that we were using, before we got the dragon stuff going. So I'm kind of curious to take an astrologer to the game with that mindset, or with that context. CXK. Okay, well, the big boys here. I don't know what we're looking at over there. I should take a quick look through the binoculars. Yeah, it looks like an over-leveled mage. So, and I mean, just look at them. I mean, they're just sitting there, being all cute. Okay, so that is the way to break out. You can just crouch. So I wonder if, let's try to do this. So we're gonna put this on. And let's switch to this. Well, we kind of gave away our position now. Let's just recharge our FP. But meanwhile, can we poison this guy? Can. Well, that happened. That was riveting. But hey, another successful invasion. And like speaking of crappy things you can do, this thing, the bone bow. Like this is an item that really shouldn't exist. But I will say it does have one justified use case. When people are just sitting there doing nothing and they're just waiting for you to come so they can gank you. Then the bone bow is your friend. Because you could use it to tickle them into going and playing the game. Alright. Let's switch our setup here. I'll get armored after we die. Oh, we're already rune up. Alright. I'm feeling like Farum Azula, actually. Maybe actually... I should look at this. I think this is what we want. No, not this one. This one. We also have to kill that dragon at the start of the area. I'm thinking about going and doing the Deathlight guys down there first. Now here, I guess the question is, which one do we really need? It raises our death-like resistance. We're gonna have to two-hand our weapon. And really, I should probably just go through right now. And I don't have that bloodline blade on right now. Let's just try fighting him with this thing. We're gonna do that. We should have pretty high death-like resistance here. I don't know what he's doing. We can press forward. That dude, like, not even budge. Don't think they can climb ladders. It's a good thing, I guess. I don't know what the lore is behind these guys. What are they supposed to be? I do think they're cool looking though. Like for real, what is the lore? What did they come from? What are they even doing here? Let's see if we can kill one. Oh, bud. Really? That was your thing? Oof, that was good. And he built up a lot of deathlight on me here. Thought I was safe, but apparently I wasn't. Okay, we're gonna get deathlight in here, aren't we? Yeah. So killing even one is very hard. I don't know how we're gonna do against the boss here. You can actually cross over here. I think is useful. The summon that's kind of interesting over here is the skeletons, because they are immune to deathlight. And they will put in some good damage. Another thing, unfortunately we can't really summon over here. But we can't sit here and like pepper them with stuff. But they can actually walk right over to the ledge and use their light fountain, which then we're gonna have to leave here. That. So let's see if we can kill the low minions first. Really what we want. Get the regen going. Okay, so this is the big poison that we just applied to him. Just wait for him to come over here. Okay, we got the rod on him now. So he is dead at this stage. He can run around and hit us and kill us, but even if you do nothing else, you will die on his own here. There he goes. I mean, we're gonna do more of the same here. Let's actually get our thing going here. Yeah, it's kind of, you just have to be patient. There's no good ways around it. I'm gonna use this time to regen some FP. He kind of blocks us off. Okay, we got the poison on him. That was a headshot. Yeah. That makes it like so easy to fight them. Ooh. Nothing good though. Come on, dude. I mean, the poison won't be enough to kill him, probably. Can't really do anything with this. Oh. Poison more off. You got it. How unfortunate. I think that one-shot us. Now we're gonna have to run back here. Now, when we do put on our armor, we should have slightly stronger resistances though. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, I think it's their vitality. That's the stat that we care about. Oh. Well, very unfortunate. We're about to try the boss, but we failed. I didn't really actually need to come up here. And we do want to do this though. Oops. Got the poison. When we die next time, we really should change our spell loadout. Yeah, I kind of think that. Okay, good bleed. Seems like it just takes a long time to kill these guys. Be nice if we can proc the rod on them. Yeah, that's good. And then we did not get the hit that we earned there. Okay. Oh man. Give me that. Okay, we got the rod on him too. So he should be dead. Yeah, we need blood flame blade on here, don't we? The blood flame blade just does better than this thing at this level, even though we have quite a bit of arcane. The way that the spell works mechanically is just better. Well, here's our chance. Yes, the Bobo. He is weak against fire, I believe. But he is also standing on water, so there is that. Let's do that. Drink our potion. I don't think the potion is going to do much to help us here. We can actually try to deathlight him or rot him quickly this way. Okay, we got the rot on him. Oops. Seriously? No. Skeletons came back. What's it gonna take for us to use our spell? Let's use Dragon Maul. Can we just put on the silver tier mask and use everything? I think we can. Alright, skeletons are putting in the work. Yeah, we put in the work too. He doesn't drop anything, but he does not respawn. Oh, thanks for that one rejuvenating bolus. I do think this is a bell bearing here of some sort. Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the glowworm pickers. Do you have a better armor for this? I don't think looking. So we cleared out this area. Hold on a second though. So if I'm remembering correctly, when we were playing last time, I was using the binoculars and I saw there was a shiny in the area over there where the dragon spawns. I'm not interested in fighting the dragon because I believe that dragon respawns too. We picked up whatever was here, right? I believe we did. Alright, so I'm talking about this area in front of us. So I never knew this, but there is a shiny there on the other end. Probably gonna be like a smithing stone or something lame like that. And we're probably gonna die because this is an ancient dragon. Well, absolutely. Okay, there it is. I don't know where the dragon comes from. We're about to find out. Yep, smithing stone. There's no reason to fight him. He doesn't drop anything. crap. That reaches all the way here, huh? Go put better armor on. I think we need a piece of armor for this set. For the so there's a few armors that work really well with it, in my opinion. There's obviously the scale armor, wherever that baby is. So this armor right here. There's also Raging Wolf one. I think looks really good with the Silver Q Max. So does this thing potentially. I don't know about Bike's armor actually. Nah. But yeah, so this thing I think looks okay. Kind of matches the vibe right now of the armor that we were already wearing. I think the Raging Wolf one is the best one. Probably. There we go. So that means we can cast all of our dragon incantations anyways. What are we missing here? Whether we're missing something? Okay. Okay. That gives us that. Not that rolling, that's surprisingly. Oh, very good. We'll make more headway. Those guys not see me. Even though I went right in front of them. The big guy. Oh no, it's not big. Oh really? That'll reach all the way. No fucking way. What happened to these guys? Oh, he's right on the... No, I'm not heavy rolling even with the armor. I want the Uchi or the lightning one. I think the lightning one right now. No, probably actually the Uchi would be better. I don't know, I'm confused. Let's try the lightning one. See how it goes. We're gonna have to kill this thing here. Gonna stagger. Using the R2s is really good. Okay, that went really well, actually. That's really, really good damage. You know, and speaking of which, I mean, you can invade in Dragon, you know, Dragon Communion stuff like this. Especially if you're going to use the elemental spells. I forgot what's over there. I know there's a couple fuckers on picking up. Do that. Just an item right there. Damn it. Okay, well that was not good. Oh, the other dude is going at me. That's who's hitting me. I'm wondering what the hell is hitting me. Okay. I want to go up there. Is that where the big guy was? I think it is. Where is he now, though? Oh, there he is. Oh, really? You hit me like that. Oh my god. I was about to say, like, these guys can still freaking absolutely wax their asses. That sucks. We almost made it to the next stage. That was pretty good though. It went pretty well. Let's see if we can make our way up there just by running up. Going through the enemies here. Don't really need to fight them. Oops. F. So what we do want to do though is put regen on. We can switch this one to the FP1. Well, that was quick. He saw us. Okay. You gonna fall in the hole? Apparently not. Okay, well, we made a little bit of forward progress over here. Yeah, you could use this setup as well for invasions. And this will work just fine if you're using like the because this gives us 18 arcane. And this gives us 23 arcane, but there's detriment of so here instead of using Flock's Canvasman, we could use this because we're pretty heavy. Alright, let's start pitching wolf gloves. And the armor. So this config should work just fine for invasions too. We could try that. That's basically the equivalent of what we were doing with the Lamenter form, but armored. So here the defense is much better. Because those resistances, that's not in the negatives. But we don't have light roll in this config. And I do think that this is obviously not camouflage. If we go with this thing, that's a little bit more camo. That looks pretty cool. This is 5 less arcane though. I don't know if we'll be heavy. Only one way to find out is to kill ourselves. I shouldn't have done that because that's a rune arc right there. But let's do it for science. Oh yeah, we are heavy rolling for sure. How about like this? Still heavy rolling. And now we're medium rolling. Kind of looks cool on this character, the pants, with this armor. These are the Zelmore Knight leggings. I mean, I think the spears are the heaviest things we have on the loadout. So here we could use like the glintstone breath. So instead of using that, we could use this. And the physical stuff is gonna hit for 5% less damage. But it's gonna be significantly less damage because we don't have the. I mean, it's like, it's just not worth it. We can lament it once we go in there. Our defenses right now are like -9%. That's weird. Maybe it is somebody that we have blocked. So up ahead of us is where we should be able to meet up with Alexander. Should be right up there, actually. Came from here. Can't tell. That's him over there. Bloodflame blade. Do I have anything? That even works on that. We have the spike cestus. That's the only weapon we have right now that can do bleed. Let's load out down here. And then this one here. So our defense right now is -9. And I think earlier it was a little bit misleading because we had this thing on which gives us like a 20% boost. But that 20% only applies to PvE. And I hate the way that they did that. I don't think the talisman should be different between PvE and PvP. Make them the same for both. And let people, you know, make up their mind on whether or not to use them. I think the answer should have been somewhere in the middle. In terms of the damage negation. Okay, well, we made a little bit of progress through the game. Not very much tonight. Feels like we spent a lot of time waiting for invasions. It's okay. Sometimes it do be like that. Yeah, sorry I was a little bit distracted there. Let's see if we can get a maybe one invasion. What we call it. In 2 hours. Getting late over here. Got a lot of work to do tomorrow. It'll be a long day. Come on, Miyazaki. Give me something good. Yeah, oddly enough, this dagger actually does pretty good here. Still prefer that one. Oh, and that, by the way, assassin's gambit. That's another thing. I do think some of the popular streamers have recently talked more about it though. Like, Assassin's Gambit is very good for invasions, especially if you go up against people that are like mages or long range bow users, like bow users. Because bow you have to use locked on, so they can't lock onto you long ranges. Kind of takes away a lot of their advantage. So do keep Assassin's Gambit nearby, because if you realize that you're getting spammed to hell from a million miles away, give it a shot. You'd be surprised how much better your life will be afterwards. Tools for invasions. I think that's maybe something I can do. I can work on. Or great strategy. I think I might hear that word. Makes me think of W. Okay, maybe we switch areas, because clearly this area is not working for us very well. What are we actually saying? We can do a little bit of farming. While we wait. This obviously we have to wait. How Miyazaki has foreseen it. These purple lilies can be used to make eternal sleep pots. I don't know how they compare and build up with the other one. About the same in PvP. Not 100% sure though. I should probably look that up. But they're easier to farm, sure. So as bad as this is, got nothing on farming the actual lilies from regular game. don't think I'm getting all of them right now. I've forgotten the route here. There's one over here somewhere. Pretty sure. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there it is. We'll make one more run. If we don't get an invasion by the end of it, we'll try quickly over there and then we'll bail out. Near a bar. 99.99% chance it's going to be far. So I was mentioning earlier, we do need to try to kill some of these dragons here in the DLC. Oh boy. Well, so much for that. I think that's our keep. Call of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Hey!
Like I said, I'll be back in a few days. I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm going to leave probably early in the morning, so. Have yourself a great night and a good weekend. I'll see you guys afterwards. Bye-bye now.